G'day, mate. Oh, yeah, I've heard of interactive television. That's where your TV gives you home shopping, banking, computer games, fast food. In fact, just about anything you want, except for good programming.
Hello, and good evening.
Tonight, smart cards with computer chips. But is our privacy under threat? And Rebecca Latorno goes Outback.
Only on hot chips could I end up driving over the roughest roads in Australia with a bunch of computers bumping around in the back.
Hello, welcome to Hot Chips. This year, Australia's finally getting pay TV. Great, you might think, but what's planned for us may already be out of date. Our first story tonight looks at a new system being trialled in the US. Here's a glimpse of life after television.
The death of television is inevitable. I mean, television is an obsolete analog system in a world proceeding at tremendous pace toward powerful two-way digital systems. And it's just an obsolete kind of technology, and it will have to die.
Just what will replace the box next century is what corporate billions are being gambled on. In Australia, we've seen the first tentative steps with pay TV. But in the US, where they've had cable for decades, the debate is much further down the track. One contender is already being tested in Florida. Orlando's a rapidly growing town that's affluent and has a high percentage of children. So that makes it an ideal place to try out a new way of delivering information and entertainment. The largest trials of this so-called digital superhighway have been carried out here by Time Warner, one of America's largest cable companies. They're calling it the Full Service Network.
We think that the new form of television that we're producing here today, interactive television, provides much greater control for individuals, will make life much more convenient because many of the things that you have to go out for or that you have to make certain efforts to acquire will now be available through your television set. You'll be able to view what you want to watch, when you want to watch it, as opposed to waiting to whenever the producer has happened to schedule that particular programming.
House, hen house, outhouse, or dog house in this area.
You can even fast forward and rewind movies. To use the jargon, it's video on demand.
Okay, what do you guys want to watch?
We like the ability to be able to stop a movie midstream, answer the phone, turn it back on again at the exact same point, maybe park the movie and go eat dinner, come back, or if we need to take a break for a few minutes, just pause the movie again and go take a break and come back.
Somebody said that was good. It is. Thanks, Brad. Okay.
Just a few months ago, Carl Willard and his family became the first household signed up to the system. At the moment, there's only about 50 sets connected, but the plan is to extend it to 4,000 families by the end of the year.
I think this is going to put a dent in video store business. Blockbuster better look out. I really think that we used to go to the video store once or twice a week, and I can honestly say that since we've had this system, we haven't been to the video store yet.
The nerve centre of the system is the Network Operations Centre. Here, an impressive array of computer equipment handles the requests and delivers the product. When a request for, say, a movie is made, a signal goes from the home down the line into this building. That bank of electronics processes the signal. In here is where all the movies are stored, this massive computer memory. Each one of these is a 2,000 megabyte hard disk. and the total capacity is almost 2 million megabytes. The selected movie is then sent back down the line to the home, and the whole process takes only milliseconds.
Should we buy a CD? Go for it. Okay, let's enter them all.
Time Warner not only owns the computers, the cable and the set-top boxes, it also has control over the content. You can watch what you like, provided they've put it on the system.
So cute. That's right.
And this is its weakness, according to communications expert George Gilder. With this system, Time Warner's still too much like a TV broadcaster.
Television is dead because it's top-down, it's master-slave, it's centralized technology. And so I think that they're going to be continually frustrated because of their focus on revitalizing the television set rather than by spreading the personal computer and creating networks that personal computers can use to download movies and other Time Warner products, as well as products from all around the world.
In Gilder's vision, there will be no large broadcasters to lock us in. One day, we'll each have our own powerful home computers that will receive programming from anywhere.
I think the new teleputers, where you essentially have one channel that you control and to which you can summon any program, movie, interactive process, image, document, book, newspaper, magazine, whatever it is from anywhere in the world, and read it on the screen or print it out if you want, or project it on the wall as you wish, using all the resources of the digital revolution. That kind of technology is going to always prevail over the idiot box.
But the Time Warner system is already a significant step away from the conventional idiot box. And even Gilder agrees, they've got a lot of things right. There are computer games and a computer-simulated shopping mall. Here, you can actually view the items for sale and order what you want.
It's great. It's very, very convenient. For example, I had broken a few glasses in the kitchen, and I thought, well, I'm going to try this new system out and see. And I came into the living room, went into the shopping area, found the Crate and Barrel store that happened to have glassware, and I thought, okay, this looks good. And I ordered glasses, and they arrived at the door 4 days later.
TNX, the news exchange. Your news when you want it. No sooner did the news...
Eventually, news on demand will also be offered. The big American-style launch exuded confidence, but the company still faces one major problem: cost. The industry estimates that the set-top box alone could be costing them upwards of $4,000.
If the costs continue to fall as they have fallen over the last 5 years, we will have a deployable situation in 1997. There's something called Moore's Law. The chairman of Intel came up with this law, which has proven to be very accurate, which is every 18 months, the cost of storage falls in half, and the speed of processing doubles. Well, the combination of those two elements on a exponential progression kind of a basis, a geometric progression kind of a basis, means that by 1997, the middle of 1997, we should be in a position to have these kinds of in-home devices at a cost of between $200 and $400 to the cable company, which therefore makes it an economically viable proposition.
Do not adjust your set. We control the horizontal. We control the vertical. We control what you see and hear. We are still the one.
A morning shopping. Well, what a morning. In the last half hour, I've shopped and bought around about 5 or 6 things, each costing about $5 to $10. And I've done it all without pocketfuls of change. In fact, without any cash at all. What I've used instead was this, the latest in plastic. It's called a smart card. And in the next few months, you're going to hear a lot more about these. In fact, you might be using one.
For better or worse, smart cards have the potential to completely change the way we run our lives. Because smart cards are quite different from the plastic you may now be carrying in your pocket. Instead of a magnetic strip, smart cards have a sexy little gold seal. Now this is a terminal connected by tiny wires to a chip, a microprocessor embedded in the plastic.
And this is it, the chip from the card. It's literally a computer. That's right, this tiny chip, costing no more than a cup of coffee, is as powerful as some of our earlier personal computers from the 70s and 80s. And like the personal computer, you can load into this chip applications and lots of information. So it might be tiny, but it's powerful and it has a lot of potential.
Smart card technology has really all come together recently because the price of chips has come down so dramatically. So it opens up a whole new world to us now, and there are literally a host of different applications that you can use for smart cards.
Australia's first multi-purpose smart card is now being trialled in Sydney's west.
It's $10.40, thank you, madam. How would you like to pay?
The trans card, please.
The trans card, as it's called, is a stored value card. You store your money electronically on the card's chip. The trans card is designed for public transport, and there are also 40 shops and other service providers taking part in the trial. The theory is that although you carry no cash in your pocket, you'll always have the right change. And it's welcome in places where your credit card isn't.
What we're talking about with these sorts of devices, of course, is for the low-value transactions, under $20. All those, the newspaper, the cup of coffee, the Coca-Cola from the vending machine.
The card is cash, an electronic purse, if you like, so that when I shop, could I buy these bits? Wherever I shop, the chip in the card records exactly what I buy and exactly what I have left in the purse.
And when your electronic purse gets a bit low, you just reload it again, either by paying cash or debiting your bank account.
Hey Bob, how are you? Hey Justin, how can I help you?
At the moment, trans cards are anonymous, which means they have no form of personal identification on them. It also means that if you lose your card, you lose your cash. The next phase will be personalised cards, more secure but less anonymous.
Oh Justin, that was easy, wasn't it?
Yeah, no problem. So I think I've only got 51 cents left, so might have to put some more money on there.
It's a major revolution, and I believe that we will probably leading towards, as often coined, the cashless society.
Thank you, Justin.
Thanks, Bob. Thank you. I'll see you later.
I think that the Australians just embrace new technology. They'll embrace this because it's just so easy and so versatile.
It's a seductive sales pitch, and it's about to get even more insistent. In the next few months, at least 4 more cards are to be trialled around Australia, including versions from some of the world's biggest financial institutions. Both MasterCard and Visa are giving their smart cards a global debut through Australia's 4 major banks. They'll begin with stored value cards, but next time your credit card is renewed, it'll probably have a chip instead of a magnetic strip.
What we're talking about is something that we term the relationship card. And what that is a single piece of plastic which will be able to enable you to do a domestic or international credit transaction, a domestic and international debit transaction, withdraw cash from an ATM if that's what you want to do, or put cash onto the card through a stored value card. It'll be, because of the chip card on there, it'll be the access to your home banking. security. It'll be access to home shopping. The whole way we bank, the whole way we pay for things, the whole way we receive and extend information is going to change. And that all is going to be facilitated by the smart card technology.
But however clever, however convenient, smart cards may also pose a threat.
It certainly isn't anonymous. Imagine a world where every purchase that you make is tallied on a piece of technology that then becomes available to marketers, competitors, banks, you name it, potentially for use in commercial purposes. It may be convenient on the surface, but it also implies an enormous invasion on privacy.
Take a day in the life of Joe Bloggs. He uses his handy little smart card for everything. At 9 a.m, Joe hops on a bus outside his house. 9:20, buys a packet of cigarettes and a newspaper in the city. 10 minutes later, he's having a cappuccino. Then Joe hits the shops. He buys a shirt, a book, a CD. Then reloads his electronic purse and hops in a cab. Now, we know from the receipt lodged in the taxi smart card reader that his destination was a pub. Sure enough, 30 minutes later, he buys a round of drinks, so we know he's not alone.
I'm going to catch the bus.
3 hours later, Joe's spent $35 on a steak, a salad and more beers than are good for him.
Well, our friend Joe here has had an ordinary, if rather self-indulgent day, yet every single thing he's done has been recorded. He's literally left an electronic trail behind. Now, that just wouldn't happen if he'd used cash, and it wouldn't even happen in such detail if he used a cheque or credit cards. Smart card technology makes it very easy to track your movements and your spending habits. And the worry is that that trail of very personal detail could be abused.
In practice, what that means is companies will be able to directly market their goods and services to you based on what they know about your personal profile. Now, that kind of information has never been accessible at that mass level before in the world.
And all that information is stored in one location with the smart card provider. Now, what makes this potentially dangerous is that technology, as usual, is one step ahead of the law. Smart cards are not covered by any legislation or even codes of conduct. And according to Chris Public of the New South Wales Privacy Committee, that leaves us, the consumer, wide open.
It is enormously important that that legislation be in place so that these smart cards can only be introduced against the background of that information. I mean, nobody at the moment is being told who exactly owns the information. We will be seduced into going for economic convenience and start in a very small, very modest, very unthreatening fashion, and then find at the end of the day, like a salami, privacy has been sliced away, slowly, one slice, thin at a time. At the end of the day, there's simply nothing left.
I'm sure I'm not the first person to observe that money's a very curious thing. We've actually reached the stage where we're able to ascribe value to little bits of coloured paper. When buyer and seller want to do business, they exchange these bits of paper. But then something very curious happens. The paper goes back to the bank. The paper's withdrawn from circulation, but the money lives on as bits in the computer. But I think all that's going to change with computer networking and the internet. In a computer networking world, we don't need the paper. We can withdraw the bits from the bank, use it to buy and sell and trade, and then the bits can check back in at the bank. But why do they actually need to go back to the bank? Why can't they just circulate from computer to computer? Indeed, why do we need banks at all?
Only on hot chips could I end up driving 3,000 kilometres over the roughest roads in Australia with a bunch of computers bumping around in the back.
He's doing what he can to make the wheels go round.
To the people of this rugged country, Arno Bessie is indeed a hero. The former country and western singer and technology buff now works for the Education Department.
He's a member of the Outback Club.
So you have got stuck out in the middle of nowhere by yourself?
Oh, just long enough to change a tyre, pull a piece of kangaroo out of the front of the car occasionally, but nothing heroic.
He travels 40,000 kilometres every year, taking technology and free training to Outback Northern Territorians. After 3 hours on the road, we still have to catch a plane. It will take us to Lejeune, a remote cattle property on the headwaters of the Victoria River, where the station family wants to get connected.
I guess the biggest stumbling block for people in the country has always been the time to learn it. And I've overcome that by bringing the technology to them and the lessons, rather than expecting them to come into town. So I fit in when they have time. They don't have to mould themselves into a particular course anywhere.
For 6 months every year during the wet season, the people of Lejeune Station can only get to town if they swim.
Oh, hello there. Hi, how are you?
Chris Edwards and his wife Denise run the property.
I'm Denise. Hi, Denise. Oh, pleased to meet you. Getting through your
How
folder
are you?
here.
Good to see you again, Denise.
Hi, Anna.
Hi.
Hello.
I brought you a toy. If you reach down the back of the computer, on the side where the power cord is, if you get used to not going to look for it, on the side where the power cord is,
Yeah.
just above the plug is a switch.
Oh.
It made it beep. Nothing on the screen
It's a
yet.
noise.
We've got a noise.
You got a hot one, Anna?
It tends to run pretty hot, Chris.
Arno has come here to help Denise set up a database of governesses. She runs a free service helping young, isolated mums find live-in teachers for their kids. Young graduates wanting a taste of country life can get on Denise's register.
Well, I remember when my children were young and a governess left halfway through the year. I got very upset. Actually, I cried because I thought, how am I going to feed these men? How am I going to help my husband with the station and educate my child? Whereas with the register, the ideal is that if I have a list of girls, so if a desperate mum does ring up, I can give her two or three to choose from with one phone call, you know, and then within a week she's got someone to take that place.
So how much of a commitment is this job? I mean, how much time do you spend and what does it involve?
Bloody hell of a lot.
Within a couple of hours, Denise's old cards and bits of paper have been turned into a computerised database with specific details about the available teachers. Even Chris was looking a bit more interested in it all.
Different needs. Will I be able to select the needs of a mum? Okay, someone must have a car.
Okay, so we just type in car.
And it will come up.
And we tell it to find.
Yeah, right.
And
That's unbelievable.
it goes and finds the car. And by saying find next, you'll find of all the governesses you have on this register, how many have a car.
Right. I can't believe how clever they are.
Not put off by the high-tech invasion, Chris had been getting dinner out of the freezer.
Right.
Have a look at what I've just found. This is what they catch in the water around here.
We'd been at the computer for hours and Chris obviously wanted dinner. Arno rarely spends a night in his own home, but in these parts he always eats well.
You're in Bear Country now, so this is what you eat. The restaurant will cost you $14.
The computer glimmered in pride of place late into the night, and after a quick break to eat, Arno and Denise worked on, anxious to pack in the practice.
Country people are very accepting of technology. They can see the benefits once they're explained.
That he wouldn't mind being...
Even Chris is a reformed cynic, eagerly taking on the new tools when he can see a use for them.
And the thing that amused me most about Chris, who's just one of these hard-working country guys and just puts in lots and lots of hours, technology is part of his job, but it's sort of taken for granted. You've got a motorbike, you've got a vehicle. Computers tend to be a little alien, I guess. And he could spot almost immediately when we sat down and just played with a spreadsheet how he could use it to keep track of his paddocks and his stock. So I think Chris will find it useful.
Can you hook up to another computer in Darwin or something on there?
Yes, Arno, is there any chance that...
Or with the modem you can run on digital concentrator reliable 1200 baud rate.
What does that mean to these people, yes or no?
It means you can, but it will do slowly. You would send the file to a computer in Darwin. That would be no drama at all.
Arno doesn't really have a particular start or finish time. Denise is hungry for computer skills. In fact, she's starving for them. And as long as she's willing to sit there and learn, Arno will be sitting next to her. For a couple of days, our travelling teacher becomes a part of the family.
I think it's pretty good. He was telling me yesterday afternoon it's 300 and something people he's taught computers to in the bush, so and that's a feat in its own, so I think if he can teach me, well then he's achieved the ultimate.
And that's it. You haven't got enough faith in yourself to know that you would be able to do it until you actually move this little mouse about and it does it for you. No, it's great. No, the work he does is absolutely wonderful.
Thousands of people are killed by motor cars every year in Australia.